So just like 2017, Carlton wins the first game of the season against arch rival Collingwood. The final margin was 24 points. It was Collingwood by 5 points at quarter time, Carlton by 9 at the half, 24 at three-quarter time, and they both added a couple of points each in that final goalless term. And at 6:9:45, they prevail over the Pies 3-3-21. The only multiple goal kicker was 2 to Aaron Fitzpatrick, the Irish woman back from an ACL. Ruby Slisho captaining the Pies for the first time, and they'll go back to the drawing board, the Wooders-Spooners, before round 2. They've got plenty to think about. 8,042 in at Icon Park tonight. We're about to skip over to the West, Lauren Wood and Daniel Harfer, but a couple of minutes to wrap up this one. What did we make of it?
Yeah, they'll be really pleased with that, the electricity really of their footy, won't they, the Blues? Yep. And always nice too. We've got a 12-round season this year for the first time, but always nice, particularly in these shortened seasons, isn't it, Half, to bank one, get one away early and head into the weekend as winners. Yeah,
absolutely. It's a great start for the Baggers. They were pretty good. They were pretty slick in some of their movement. They defended really well, and the Magpies had no answers. So they'll be going into their rooms very, very chuffed with that performance. There's a few questions about the Magpies on the back of that, I reckon, and what they're trying to do and what they're trying to look like, but they certainly didn't show too much tonight, sadly, for Magpie fans.
And let's remember, I mean, the Blues had a tough year last year as well, just the 4 wins to go with the 7 losses. So to get that first one after a tough slog last year, it is going to mean the world to Matthew Buck.
Particularly without their captain too. I mean, we spoke about Karen Peterson in the pre-game. She's out for this season, having had baby Max just this week. I know she's watching on tonight with Max in tow, so she'll be very, very pleased sitting at home on the couch watching the girls get a win and get that win early. But naturally, when you're without your skipper and such a fearless leader that Karen is holding down that back line, you would have that little sense of unknown of you know how things are going to go. But led by Mimi Hill in that midfield half, they were pretty seamless without her, poor Kez.
Well, she was allowed to do whatever the hell she liked today, Mimi Hill, and she took full advantage of that. 30 plus disposals for her.
32
really
she ended up with.
Set the game alight, yeah. So she was an almost mim, but as I said, allowed to do pretty much whatever she wanted. The bigs did a good job, I reckon. Jess Good in the ruck was fantastic. Bree Moody had a presence forward of the ball, but handed some ball. Fitzpatrick was the crummer in the forward half, kicked 2 goals. But Mimi Hill, without a doubt, was the player of the match, Harvey Norman player of the match. And it started pretty much from the start of the game. That was one of the first possessions of the contest, and she just kept on keeping on. And you will see, if you watch enough Carlton games and you watch enough Mimi Hill, you'll see that she doesn't stop very often. She's an aerobic beast, always has been. She's got enormous power to break out of these sort of contests. And her skill level and her craft has improved in the last couple of years as well. So great to see her start so strongly for the Baggers and link up with her teammates along the way. It's a very positive, polished performance from Mimi Hill.
It's certainly going to be interesting to see if they really lean in to that, as Matthew Buck said in the pre-game, as you say, keep that ball moving, play to the likes of Mimi Hill's strength. They've got Tara Bohanna in the forward line as well, and really utilise her speed around the contest, as you say, amid these rule changes that really want to keep the game flowing.
And Aaron Fitzpatrick kicked a couple of sizzling goals. In fact, the Irish woman turns 25 on Monday and had plenty of Irish fans and friends that were in the crowd. Yeah,
well, I remember when she was recruited. Josh Hare as the recruiter and Brett Munro were the general manager, and they brought her in and they said to me, and I'd gone by this stage, that we found an absolute beauty. She didn't get a chance to explode last year because of her knee injury, but she's been so diligent with her work rate and her recovery. Stayed in Australia to do it, and is getting some benefits now as we see them huddling up for the first time for the season. Hasn't been too many Carlton songs been sung this year.
No, enjoy it, Blue Baggers. I love to see the 3 debutantes in the middle of that circle then in Sophie McKay, Poppy Schultz and Tara Bohanna. And they were all impressive. There's Sophie McKay with a big cuddle, number 55 there, with Poppy Schultz, and the 2 young guns for the Blues was super impressive.
There's a bit to like about both of them. Poppy Schultz looked really composed behind the ball, did some really calm, measured things in the heat of battle. And Soph got going in that second half. She looked pretty dangerous in that forward half as well for the Blues. So a couple of big ticks for them and their recruiting staff in the off-season.
If that's a sign of what's to come, I think, for these draftees that are coming in, we talk a lot about this next generation. I mean, even talking to Ash Centra earlier this week, I think most of them were only 8 or 9 when this competition started, which I think goes a long way to, as you say, not being overawed on the occasion. A lot of them can't even remember that first night they were that young, and this has just been normality to the pathway for them. So it's really exciting for what the weekend and the season ahead could hold for those draftees. And it looks like Carlton may have got through injury-free as well, which is incredibly important, as we know, in this shortened season. Of course, they'll have the wash-up to deal with there. And Collingwood, of course, that bad news with Kellyanne Hogan with the knock to her shoulder that spelled an end to her night.
And Ash Centra came in, first pick, first kick, first goal.
Nice.
First proper touch, a lovely contested mark.
Yeah, she's going to be a serious player. They didn't get a lot of ball forward, the Magpies, all night, so we didn't see anywhere near enough of her from Collingwood fans' perspective, but that's got nothing to do with her. That was just the way the game flowed.
Is this what you predicted at the start of the game, that this sort of result, or were you disappointed in the Pies?
I was a bit disappointed, I must admit, in the Pies. I thought they might have had a better showing. I'm worried about their forward half at the minute and their personnel in there. So Sam Wright's got some work to do.
So the West Coast Eagles, 13th last year with just the 4 wins. It was in fact their best season since joining the competition in 2020. Can their 6th year be their best in 2025? They're off to a brilliant start. Ella Roberts starred with the first 2 goals of the game, and they unearthed a young gun in Lucia Painter, who booted 3 goals in that third term. Final score, 5-5-35 West Coast. Gold Coast 2-8-20. Lauren Wood, Daniel Harford, Daisy Pearce would be pretty happy with the way things started over in the West.
Yeah, home ground advantage. You want to make sure you make the most of those opportunities start of the season. We talked about that earlier in the night for the Carlton Collingwood game. Get the wins on the board, Loz, especially when they're at home. Maximise that, and a long road trip back for the Gold Coast Suns on the back of kicking just 2 goals tonight.
Yeah, that's right. And for Daisy to have her stars lead from the front, Ella Roberts, I know she was cramping late in the game and had a bit of medical attention, but this is a player, let's not forget, who missed the better part of a month in the pre-season due to a bit of a back issue too. So if Ella Roberts can do that after a month short pre-season and the cramping as well to go with it late in the game, geez, if that's a sign of what's to come this season, I think Daisy would be pretty impressed. Combined with, as you mentioned, Lucia Painter, the young ones sort of on the rise as well.
So 24 disposals, 2 goals too for Ella Roberts.
It's a good day.
Wow.
A good night.
Wow.
It's a pretty good night.
Yeah, All-Australian last year, best and fairest last year, and still just 21 years of age. So encouraging signs. What did you make of their game plan half? They looked like they'd really taken a next step over the pre-season. There was good connection.
Yep.
And they had a clear system.
Yeah, and controlled the ball in different tempos, different modes of play. They went fast when they needed to. They took the heat out of the game when the Gold Coast were putting some pressure on them. So they're really well disciplined with the way they try and control the ball. And their pressure around the footy was elite as well. So that's one of the things I reckon Dave's mentioned to Emma Driscoll at 3/4 time. She likes the hunt and the pressure and that sort of stuff. And we saw that all night from West Coast. So a lot to like from that perspective. And the thing with Painter is that she spent a bit of time in the midfield as well. So Roberts goes forward, Painter goes in, and then you just keep switching those two midfield forward. You've got some pretty damaging players in both ends of both areas of the ground.
What about Reece Shaw? Baptism of fire, undermanned to some extent?
Yeah. So he's got to build ahead. He's building this team pretty much from the ground up, and that's okay. They've got some serious talent coming through. We saw a bit of that on display tonight. There's more coming in the next couple of drafts. So he's got a vision towards the future. He just wants to instill a plan, and they showed that they controlled the ball pretty well. When they had possession, the back half of the ground, the forward half connection is where it's all sort of breaking down at the moment.
OK, let's get down to Emma O'Driscoll, who's on the boundary for us and is with one of the Eagles co-captains.
I am here with Charlie Thomas, Eagles co-captain. Chuck, that was so impressive out there, and I'm going to call you Smother Teresa. After that smother you laid in the last quarter, how did it feel?
Yeah, really good. It was such a good game. I thought our girls fought it out right to the last final siren. So, yeah, just super proud of everyone. And, yeah, what a good start to the season.
Main messaging you provided the girls throughout the game, what do you think?
Probably just play all out the 4 quarters. In our 2 scratchies, we probably didn't do that as best as we can. And, yeah, really proud of the girls. I thought all of our Debbies absolutely shone on the big stage. So, yeah, can't wait for the rest of the season.
Incredible, mate. Go and enjoy the song, and we'll see you next time. See ya.
Good luck on the weekend.
Great job there by Emma. She's certainly enjoying it out there. She'll be in action at Alberton Oval on Sunday against Port Adelaide.
If she's coming up with things like Smother Teresa every single week, we need her out there on the boundary. Absolutely. That was a fresh one for me. I like it.
I'm hearing fresh from the West that the nickname for Painter is the Brush.
Oh, really?
That's the official nickname.
Okay.
She's been labelled.
Okay.
Over there in the West.
All right. We want to. We're in Sydney tomorrow night for Zippy Fish. Can't wait to see that one. We're going to find out the nicknames there, no doubt, as well. So some great names in AFLW. We've unearthed some brand new players tonight, and the Eagles players are well and truly going to enjoy this one. That was quick.
That was very quick.
That was very quick as well.
Did they sing the song?
I'm not
What
sure.
happened
Anyway.
Birds of Tokyo took care of it for them. I'm not sure. Anyway.
Well, the men have only sung it one time this year, so maybe they're still trying to queue it up and work out where to find it. But anyway, they did enjoy the win. They are one from one. Sorry about that. Earlier tonight, it was Carlton beating the Pies. Look, to be honest, the story of this evening, the opening night of AFLW Season 10, has been the unearthing of some top 10 draftees. We've seen 4 in action, and they've all exceeded all expectations. Let's start with the top draft pick from last year in Ash Centra, and this is her first bit of action for the Pies. What a way to introduce yourself.
Yeah, it's not a bad way to do it. Big contested mark and a pretty important goal at the time of the game too for the Magpies, and not much else coming in the back of that for Ash. But here we see Havana Harris.
Number 2, pick 2 last year.
And she was really impressive tonight. She's 182 centimetres. She's a big rig, catches the ball really well and kicks it nice and long too.
Now pick 6 is Poppy Schultz, the younger sister of Matilda Schultz, the Rising Star winner from last year, won the 50 and pops it through and celebrates her first goal in the big league. And then pick 7, Lucia Painter, as you said, dubbed the Brush, booted 3 goals in that third term and has certainly arrived on the scene with a bang. The future is bright.
It certainly is, and some magnificent nicknames we've got. The Brush is the clubhouse leader early. If you listen to Ruby Schleicher, she is desperately trying to get Centrinator happening for Ash Centra. And let me tell you right now, Ash Centra wants absolutely no part of it. But as we know in this game, the more you resist a nickname, the more it'll come with you. She wants to go with Cinch. So do with that what you will, commentators. I know you're in the chair over the next few weeks with Collingwood, Kel, but don't go with Centrinator if Ash has anything to do with it.
Okay, love the new nicknames. Yep, love the. We got to get some new celebrations going this season as well, because last year, well, it was benchmark celebrations as they came our way. A lot to celebrate. The opening night it was of AFLW Season 10, and you will see all of these in action over the next 3 days. A lot to look forward to. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.